You know, I was thinking about you guys when I was reading about Google TV, because here is an opportunity for internet connectivity with the big screen TV, with the home theater system in the living room. And I thought, well, maybe this is the renaissance of music and video together, because instead of watching it on a little postage-size, stamp-sized screen on your computer or your laptop, all of a sudden it's there on 50-inch screens in 5.1 glory.
Yeah. I mean, it's really exciting. And the thing is, these, like, technological innovations and inversely technological limitations are so ever-changing and so fluid that we try to make things that don't sort of revel in the technological moment, but enjoy whatever new technological moment we're in a sort of more universal way. I don't know if how much sense that makes the way I've just said it, but. You know, there's plenty of videos or plenty of art projects where people are using new technology and sort of celebrating the new technology. And we're just happy that all these new spaces exist so that we can do really simple things like dance with dogs. You know, like, I mean, there's no technology involved in it other than
but it's the distribution that makes it cool.
Right, and it's so exciting to us that all of those barriers are breaking down, because it means that you really don't have to think about creativity in the same way. You know, we don't. We get the question all the time, like, are we worried that the videos will overshadow our music? And it doesn't. If people don't want to think of us as a band because we're not only about that one thing, then fine. You know, it's not. The way we think about it is like, what do you think the Beatles would be doing now? Do you really think they'd be putting out like 45 RPM 7-inch records, or like? You know, do you think Jimi Hendrix was worried that lighting his guitar on fire was going to overwhelm his songs? You know, I mean, it's just like there have always been these like performative and visual art elements to rock and roll, and it's great that it's now three-dimensional in this way that, you know, you can make anything can come out of that ball of creativity and excitement. It doesn't have to fit through commercial radio first.
It is a medium is the message kind of situation too, because again, if you can have the big screen TV showing the music videos in, you know, on demand, which we've never had before, or things like iPads, which, you know, you have an application that can be dynamically updated with anything that you guys, let's say you created an app, you can just send out stuff to subscribers. Or
we've been playing music off an iPad. I mean, like, I programmed a bunch of beats on an iPad that are now part of our show. I mean, like,
really?
Yeah, like the front of house guy at our show sits there playing like a hip hop beat while we walk on stage, like using our.
But it's not real music because it comes from an app on the iPad.
I did see a video of a street musician with an iPad around her neck playing it.
You should do it.
Yeah, and you know, there was like, you know, 150,000 YouTube views there of this anonymous woman on a street with nothing more than a $500 piece of aluminum and plastic.
Yeah.
But she's making something cool, right?
Making something cool.
Have you seen, okay, there's this amazing video, and I'm sure there's plenty of them, where some musicians took Carl Sagan's TV show, vocoded it, and made a song out of it, right? And what's amazing is that song, you could have made that song divorced the video, I suppose, but it's a song generated by pieces of video content. So, and it's a beautiful song. I mean, like, it's a song you'd want to listen to anyways.
I think Jack White was involved in it somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, good for him. I mean, it's gorgeous, and it really is this thing that just it not only could it not have sensibly existed on just radio or just TV, but it couldn't have been conceived of. You know, it's like you need a whole different universe of creativity and understanding creativity to even get to the point where that thing
could exist.
Has parameters.
Well, and even something like autotunethenews.com.
Yeah, autotune the news.
Yeah.
Is hysterical. I mean, you know, you get these 5-second or 15-second sound bites. Somebody auto-tunes it.
And you've also got like brand new superstars. Those guys are like these monstrous superstars.
Well, like that guy from Detroit with the rapist. You know, there's a rapist in the name. I mean, that's hysterical. He became a meme on his own.
Yeah, he is really funny. It's not. I mean, laughing about anything with the word rape in it, probably
not a good idea. But
that is such a hilarious video.
They did a really good job doing it.
They really did.
They really did. Well, I'm again, you know, quite anxious to see what you guys will do next, because it's always a treat. And I guess it's kind of, well, I guess it would be greedy asking about a new album, given that you haven't had any time off, and that there's new material on this super deluxe version of the last record.
I'm really excited to make a new record, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about time.
Yeah, it's like we have this strange balance all the time where like just when things start to get rolling really well, it's like now all these crazy opportunities come our way where it's like, you can go make a project with the Palabras Dance Company, and that's,
Are people coming to you now and
sure,
saying?
yeah. I mean, we've and we're not good at saying no to stuff. So it's like, a bunch of professional water skiers say they want to make a video with us, and we're going to say yes. That one hasn't happened yet, so I probably shouldn't have said that in public, but now it will. But like these ideas are so exciting to us that we sort of chase them all and then realize, wait a second, we're doing 40 things right now, and they're not even going to be done for the next 8 months, and during which time we will have signed up for 40 more, and we're never going to get to make a record again.
Because it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Would that everybody had this problem, but we do need to like actually shut ourselves out in a room and just make another record soon. Because there's a lot of music from the last record that I think I want to resurrect to things we didn't use for the last record that now I think we really know where those feelings and those slots go. And
yeah, we wrote over like 100 songs for the last record, so there's still some good stuff left.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of downtime, a little staring out the window, a little bit of answering some email, finding out what people have in store for you, or have in mind for you.
Yeah.
Making the next record is really exciting also because I think that I'm fairly certain we'll work with Dave Fridman again, and I think that our working relationship, like figuring each other out musically and artistically, takes a while. And so now, hitting the ground running next time with a whole, not having to figure each other out, but trying to figure out what the next level is going to be really satisfying.
Well, and that's interesting too, because usually in the traditional band setup, you would just be worried about the chemistry between you as players and songwriters and performers. Now there's a whole series of levels that tie you guys together that will allow you to hit the ground running in all kinds of different ways.
Yeah, and I think our last record was, it took, I mean, this sounds so sissy, but it took a lot of sort of like keeping ourselves honest all the time. Like there's a lot of sort of like whip cracking within the band to like make sure that we didn't succumb to our own expectations of what we thought we were.
Okay.
Basically, we had been writing songs, I think, for a long time around endpoints, where we're like, the world needs stadium rock anthems, so let's write a stadium rock anthem. And eventually, we started knowing what we sounded like and going, we should write an OK Go song. And you wind up sort of with this feedback loop of trying to make things to sound like yourself, or trying to make things that fit within what people expect you to do. And so the things that felt most inspired, where we feel really good about them musically, also felt the scariest. Like a little soul song, or a very quiet acoustic song, or something that we wouldn't have put on our first couple records. And it, there would always be this sort of like, we'd look at each other being like, well, people believe that, is this what we sound like? Really, is this us? And trying to shut ourselves down from ever like questioning that, like just always making it about like, does this feel musically right? Like, who cares what style the record comes out in? If it's radio friendly, if it's like, if it has any connection to what we've done in the past or anything, we wind up with a very, very different sounding record, and it's been so much more satisfying to play this record live, to tour on this record, to promote this record, to make videos for this record. I mean, everything about it feels much more like it's our own now. That I think going into the studio next time will be much more sort of emboldened to search out new places rather than kind of like, can we do this?
Yeah.
Traditionally, everything begins with the song and moves out. What are the chances of things beginning with the other art project, be it dancers, video, live performance, and working back in to create the song?
I don't know. I've always sort of been like, no, that'll never happen because we love writing music too much. But I will say that I'm not terribly interested in coming up with a video idea than writing a song around it. It's what I like about making these. You've got a soundtrack now. Figure out the film. But I do think that like working with dancers, I could really see like writing the music around movement or around a performance or around some other type of event. And so I would imagine there'll be some of that. I'm not sure that will become that would wind up on our record. It might just be some sort
Be
of
an
side
interesting experiment for sure.
I could see, if we wound up doing a long form thing, with, like a long form performance thing, whether it was dance or theater or whatever, I could see writing music around that.
Music with cues.
Yeah.
Kind of end up being, I feel like.
Well, thanks a lot for coming in. This is our new place. It's not a boardroom like the last.
Much different than the last time.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's 700,000 square feet or something.
Good Lord.
So next time you're here, if you have an opportunity to bring instruments, we'll have a studio.
Oh, that'd be great.
And we can do it that
Do you ever
way.
go down that slide?
I will not go down that slide, and here's why. When the engineers installed it, they did not do the physics.
Oh.
And as a result, you pretty much reach terminal velocity by the time you hit the bottom. And you come shooting out towards that body of water, which is deep and cold. So, no.
Oh, it shoots you outside.
Well, it could. I mean, somebody my size, there's enough
So I
momentum.
shouldn't go down
Would you first go out a window?
You would go through
Smash the windows?
big double doors.
Because I really want to go down it.
It's locked because of
Because it's too dangerous.
legal issues, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and they even have cameras. As you go down the slide, just to make sure that you don't get stuck or lost or something like that. And the other problem is too when you get to you're from Chicago, so you would know at this time of year you start to get dry air and it gets a little staticky.
Yeah.
So if you were to hit,
Out.
pretty much, it'd be like lighting a match at or using your cell phone at the gas station,
Yeah.
and boom with static electricity. So
Wow.
maybe next time we'll have it all figured out.
I'd love
Yeah.
to see that.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks for your time again.
Hey, anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime at all.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.